What's up, everybody? Welcome to SnailMail. SnailMail. This is our Friday segment for the SnailTrail4x4 Podcast with Tyler and Jimmy, or Jimmy and Tyler, depending on who you like more. Probably Jimmy. And we get to listen to voicemails from you guys and gals. Have we had any gals call in yet? Voicemails?
I don't think so. I mean, our listener base is 2% female.
That's true.
So
yeah,
that one needs to call in.
So we have 50 listeners. Yeah, man. So we got voicemails today. It's Friday. Closing out the week for the weekend for everybody. We like to do it on kind of a high note and chat with you guys.
Yeah.
So essentially, if you're new to Snail Mail here, the way this goes is you guys call in. We have a voice number. It's a Google voice number that we don't answer. The phone does not ring. It goes to a voicemail. So you can call any time of the day. If you are up really late at night and you're just like, I can't sleep and I really need to tell Jimmy and Tyler something, call the voicemail.
Or if you wake up really early in the morning, you're and on East Coast time, and you're like, oh, I can't call right now because they're still asleep.
It's still 2 a.m. in California.
Yeah. Call in. Anyway, it doesn't ring. Doesn't bother me one bit. It's not even on my phone.
Yep. Or if you really want to do that, message me on Instagram. I'll give you Jimmy's personal number so you can just call him at 2 a.m. in California. So,
yep, that'll work.
Yep.
My phone is automatically silenced from 10 till I think 7.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what we do here. And that's what we're going to do for this episode. And I think today, we didn't say the phone number, 916-345-4744. It's also down in the show notes if you did not catch that. I think what we're going to do today is we had a special request.
Oh, yeah.
From an Aussie.
An Aussie.
An Aussie.
That's our Australian accent for you, Charles.
Yep. How do we do? Yeah. Rate me 0 to 10. And then you can take that rating.
There's a website for that.
Oh, really? Nice.
RateMe.com.
RateYourPodcastHost.com.
Podcast host. Probably not.
I was going to say, you can take that rating, though, and write it down on a piece of paper, 1 through 10. 0 through 10, technically, I guess. I could be 0. I can take it. It's okay, guys. But what you're going to do with that paper is you're going to take it, and I want you to fold it in half 4 times.
Okay.
And then flush it down the toilet.
Yeah, I was going to say. Wipe your butt with it. Anyways, now that we're going down under.
Yeah. All right. So we got Charles. I believe this is Charles. It's an Australian number, and Charles did tell us he called in. So I'm assuming I'm putting two together.
Relevant. So Charles, it better be relevant or else you're cutting. You're cutting
your way in line. But we do have 25 voicemails.
Oh, geez.
And Charles is the very last one.
Oh, wow.
So we're jumping Charles to the front of the line because it was a special request. Let's see what he's got, shall we?
And he's Australian.
Because I'm kind of afraid that he'll mail me some kind of poisonous animal or insect. And so I'm just going to let him go.
Anything that he can grab off the street, is going to kill us in America.
Pretty much. All right, here we go.
G'day. Just thought I'd ring and let you know. Talking about bull bars and mounting plates, and if you just, before your little orange man puts a 25% duty on everything coming out of Australia, just buy an Australian bar. They're made that way. They're all made that way. They have to be certified. Just saying, and your dollar's worth about 25 of our Australian pesos currently, so buy Australian. It's much better. And by the way, again, in Australia, Jeeps sucked that badly, they just took the Grand Cherokee off the market. Keep crawling.
I love it.
Awesome. Thanks, Charles, for calling in. Yeah, bull bars.
We weren't talking anything about bull bars, though.
But I think bull bars are bumpers down there.
That's a very different item. Okay.
Well, I think what we call a bull bar. When we reference a bull bar, it's more of like a big hoop in front of your bumper or part of your bumper, right?
I think of a bull bar as like a massive chunk of steel that's designed to hit livestock with.
Yeah. What's on front of a train that pushes them out of the way?
Exactly.
No, I mean
something you can run into a kangaroo with at 100 60 kilometers an hour and not damage your vehicle.
Right.
That's what I think of a bull bar as.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, but he brings up, regardless to what we classify as a bumper or a bull bar, in Australia, any aftermarket bumper sold has to meet the Australian road rule setters.
It all has to be engineered. Yep.
Yes, it has to
And
be.
go through
They call
certification.
it engineering down there.
Yep.
Yeah, it has to get their certification to be on the road, allowed onto a vehicle onto the road.
Yep.
Which is crazy. Can you imagine if that happened here in America?
How many places would shut down?
Every company here in America. There is, besides Iron Man 4x4,
is the only
which
one.
imports the Australian bumpers. There's not a single company that I know of in America that gets their bumpers certified by the Department of Transportation to be legally on the road.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So go buy an Aussie bull bar.
Yeah.
Thanks, Charles, for calling in.
Calling, bud.
I now know why you said this was time sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
Orange man.
We're going to skip to another one.
Oh.
Because I already listened to the first 5 seconds of it, so it's marked as read or listened to.
And you don't want to forget about it?
I don't want to forget about it because it came through on a different area code.
Okay.
That I thought might have been a spam one.
Got it.
So we'll listen to that one. That way I just don't forget about it later on.
Okay.
So, there we go.
Sounds good.
Hey, gentlemen, on the recovery straps, the Kenitic Straps in particular, you left off one thing is that there is a rating on those as well, and it is appropriate to consider that when you have a vehicle that is a lightweight vehicle and you buy a strap for a heavyweight vehicle. I bought a Kenitic strap that is basically a static strap because my vehicle is so light that it will never really stretch it enough to make it a Kenitic strap. So keep that in mind as well. Also, you guys need to release those tokens so we can go hide them. Thank you.
So he can go hide them?
He wants to hide them or he wants to find them?
Right?
I mean, if you want to hide one, we can do that. Maybe I'll steal some of those from you and I'll start
working on
it a little bit.
They're all back there at the laser.
Okay.
So on the table. So, good point.
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
did not bring, I want to say we've brought that up in past episodes, but we definitely did not mention it in the latest one for the snow recovery stuff. There was a while ago, I got that big fat, like 1 1/4 inch Kenitic strap. And I gave it to you because I was like, I don't have a vehicle big enough to use this at the time. Now I do. But yeah, Jimmy has it because I didn't have a vehicle big enough and heavy enough to really make use of that. So yeah, that's a really good point on the Kenitic strap.
Yeah, there's a weight limit and a braking strength, right? And he said it perfectly. He said you want to concern yourself with the weight limit because if your vehicle doesn't weigh enough, then it's not going to be kinetic.
Yeah.
It's not going to stretch. It's not going to get that stretchiness to it because your vehicle is going to be so light. It's just going to immediately pull it out and it'll appear to be a static strap.
Yep.
So true that. Speaking of, we probably have said that at one point. I went back and I listened to episode 64, which was the one that we did previously to the snow recovery. Snow recovery items. And it's funny to see how similar we were in regard still with we were more broad this time with our items than we were last time. We were very more specific last time with like, get these types of straps or get this. But it was funny to hear the difference in roughly almost 5 years from doing those 2 episodes apart from each other. And I even called Tyler because it was early February of 2020. And we're like, oh man, we got through the new year. We got through January and now we're into February. The 2020 has started and it's going to be a good year. Little did we know what was coming for us.
Yeah. A month and a half later.
Yeah. And I think I was actually I said I was in,
Peru at the time, right?
No, it wasn't Peru. I didn't go to Peru that trip. I was in, Uruguay.
Uruguay, that's what it was.
Yeah, I was in Uruguay when that episode was released.
Ushuaia, wasn't it? Or we recorded that before you left.
Yes, we recorded it before I left. Yeah, we banked that one.
At the time that it was released, I was
on day 2 or day 3 of my trip.
Yeah. And then Jimmy brought COVID back with him. So
pretty much. Yeah. Well, I didn't get COVID, but
you were a carrier.
Sure.
Yeah.
I got it eventually.
It was housed in Antarctica, and I was
sick for like a solid 24 hours. Then I was like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah. Cool. So good stuff. Definitely be aware that bigger is typically better when it comes to static straps. Bigger is not better necessarily when it comes to kinetic straps.
True. And what's your name?
Yeah, what's your name?
Thanks for calling, but you didn't tell us who you were.
Tony.
We'll call you Tony.
We'll call him Tony.
Yeah,
he's 559 Tony.
559 Tony.
Yeah.
All right. Back to the top.
Yeah, back to the top.
Let's do this. Let's rapid fire some of these things.
Tom Rosa.
Let's just skip down.
Okay, we can go to the next one.
Yeah, let's listen to half of it.
Half?
Yeah, because he's got a Jeep, so that's out. He's out. But
he's got a Jeep with Toyota axles.
Toyota's axles, so it's half cool.
Okay.
We'll listen to half of it.
So does that mean we listen to the lower half?
Or the middle section.
Or the middle? I don't know. Here we go, Tom.
Skip the first 2 minutes.
Hey, gentlemen. How y'all doing today?
Good, Tom.
I just wanted to call in and see when Jimmy and I are going to go wheeling. I'm kind of an off-road whore. I don't care who goes, but I want to go. I want to be down. I've been with Tyler. Tyler and I have been together like 4 times. Trying to go through the list. Sand Hollow, Fisher, UTC Snow Run, and then the last one was like Garrett. And he's good and all, but like he's old now, so I'm looking for some new meat. So let's dance, Jimmy. Also, on a side note, I want to tell you guys how good an XJ loves the desert. I picked up a soulless shit box, and this thing really is a lot of fun for being a 25-year-old vehicle. It really does a good time out in the desert. I got a really good deal. I paid like $5,000 for a 2001 XJ that already had long arm suspension, chrome ollie axles, 4 chain gears with lockers, all the bumpers and bracing and support system that you need for that soulless shit box. The one thing I found really hard to do, and I haven't quite figured out how to do it, is how to do a body lift. I need just like a little bit more clearance on it, and I'm just can't figure out where to put the pucks. So anyway, if anybody has a clue on that, let me know. Otherwise, happy trails and talk to y'all soon.
Tom, you're too good.
You got to put it between your ego and the body. Yeah. That was the first thing I came up with. That was semi-witty. No, that's funny though.
Yeah.
Touche. I don't know. Let's go wheeling. I don't actually know when my next wheeling adventure is. I got to put something in Bobcat to get it moving. I actually used it the other day to pull out the stump in my yard. So I did start it up and drive it over there and everything was fine, but the power steering was whining at me.
Whine?
Why am I low on fuel? I don't know. I guess fuel works, but
yeah, fuel for the power steering.
Fuel for the power steering. Fluid. So otherwise, yeah, my goal is to get Samantha going ASAP. So I actually have not been planning or scheduling or trying to go on a lot of runs because I need to do Samantha. And it sucks that now I've fallen into coming up on spring and summer when wheeling season is upon us. And I really am going to try to say no to some things and work on Samantha. And that said, I'm really hoping today when this episode comes out to shoot my first video on Samantha.
Nice.
Yep.
Does that mean you are nominating yourself for the 2025 Jack Stan Award?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Cool. I will put my name into the hat.
Okay.
That said, hopefully 2025 that the vehicle comes off of Jack Stans.
Yeah.
Though. So we'll see.
I still have not got my award. Just saying.
Yeah, that's why I'm fine with throwing my name in the hat.
Because you're not going to get it anyway.
No, there's no award coming to me.
That's right.
Anyways, Tommy, let's dance.
I like it. Tom's a lot of fun to go wheeling with. So
I believe it.
Yeah. He loves to get those old vehicles and does some really hilarious things with them.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe you should reach out to Rough Stuff. I know they've been releasing a whole bunch of XJ stuff.
A lot of stuff.
And they probably know where to put the body mounts.
Yep. That would be a funny question to call. Hey guys, I have a question for you.
I got an XJ. It's Noah.
You say, I got an XJ. Their first response is, I'm sorry. What can we do for you?
Yeah.
How can we help?
Here, let me transfer you. Click.
Anyways, next up is Nick from Montana.
Nick from Montana. I know we've been itching his thing with all these recovery gear stuff, so I'm sure that's what he's calling in for.
Yep. Here we go.
What's up, fellas? Nick from Montana. Just calling in after listening to tire pressure, autism. So thanks, Tyler. A couple of fun facts. Like up here, it's so cold. We do actually put summer and winter air in our tires. I will see a 10 PSI difference between summer and winter tire pressures just because the temperature is 100 degrees different. The other with like mechanical valves, I used to run the tubeless system on the motos. They were a sponsor back in the day, and I destroyed a handful of mechanical gauges because I put the low pressure gauge onto the high pressure bladder. They work the same way as the like Coyote beadlock systems, and that was always a bummer because I would destroy my nice fancy low pressure tire gauge, and then I would have no idea what I would run my tires after the weekend. And yeah, that's it. Hope you guys are doing well. I just picked up a bunch of link material. We're going to be running 2.5 by 1/2 inch wall, lower links up front. They're going to be a little bit longer, so we'll see if I bend them. All right. Love you. Friday. See you.
Love you too, Nick. Thanks for calling.
He called right back.
Oh, okay.
So here we go.
Any comments on that one?
Yeah, that's some beefy links.
Yeah.
Nick has a beefy link.
Nick has a beefy link.
Yes, he does. But
beefy long link.
Yeah, beefy long link.
Got you there, Nick. Got you back.
Girthy.
You can dance with Tom and I.
Yeah, there you go. Apparently I'm old and used, so.
Yeah, Tom wants fresh meat.
He does. Yeah. He loves his fresh meat. So, anyways, let's see here. What else was there? There was the cold air pressure versus hot air pressure. Yes. Even in cold air, like when we were driving up to Uncle Tom's, the air pressure in the trailer tires went from, I think, 61, 62 PSI to 68 PSI by the time we got up to plow line.
Right.
So, I mean, even in cold weather, it's still that the air pressures in your tires changes a lot when you're driving. It just goes to show how much heat is generated on the tire and rubber on the road.
Right. Absolutely.
Itself. So,
yep.
And then busting low pressure gauges.
Yep.
I've definitely done it.
Yeah, me too.
So, that just goes to show mechanical gauges. They can be nice, but typically the nice ones are really expensive and you cry when you blow them out. So, especially when you have long beefy links. Let's see.
All right. Nick called back.
He called back.
Hey, it's Nick again. I hung up and that was a mistake because I have a 2-year-old that needs to hang up. So she might want to say hi. Do you want to say hi? Yeah. What do you say? Yeah. Meow. Okay.
Meow.
You want to hang up? Bye-bye.
Meow.
Meow. That's cool. Funny. That my daughter, before we got a cat, she pretended to be a cat.
Oh.
And then we got a cat, and the kiddo pretended to be a cat even more.
Okay.
And our cat's name is Skylar. And the mini assistant nicknamed her cat alter ego Lilar.
Okay.
So every once in a while these days, Lilar shows back up and pretends to be a cat. And it was cute and funny when it was like a 5 or 6 year old.
Yeah.
But an 11-year-old pretending to be a cat and wanting to like rub up against you and lick you isn't quite as cute anymore.
See, if Reed ever does that, I'm going to treat him like a cat and put him outside and then make him use the litter box.
I put her plate of food on the ground one time. Perfect. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, you're a cat. The cat doesn't eat at the table."
Yeah, get out.
And then she stood right up. I'm not a cat.
Get a spray bottle, start spraying her.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
Stop it.
Get out of the room. I love it.
We're on the same mindset there. Yeah. But thanks, Nick, for calling back. And it was cute to hear the meow.
Yep. All right. Next up, sounds like it's Brad from San Diego. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Here we go.
Hey, guys. Brad from San Diego. Long-time listener, never called. Anyway, was listening to your February 14th episode of Snail Mail, I think, on trail ratings. And something popped into my mind that Jimmy said, actually. You kind of need to mix up your vehicle's abilities into that rating, right? So what if they made a system that had 2 digits? And what if it wants something like this, a digit / and a digit? And let's say the first digit is 1 and the last digit is 9. That means that for a vehicle with a 1 rating, which is like a stock 4-wheel drive, it's going to be very hard. But if you had like a 9 and a 1, it would be a full-on vehicle, moon buggy. The rating's going to be, the trail's going to be really easy. So, I don't know, just thinking that might be a good way to rate trails so that everybody could see, you know, like if you rated it a 9/1 and you've got a moderately built vehicle, maybe it would be moderately easy for you. I don't know. Anyway, just thinking about that. Thought I'd share that with you guys. Keep crawling.
I don't know if I understand what he was saying.
I got it. And I actually really like this idea, Brad.
Okay. Explain.
So if I had a stock, let me back up. What do you rate the Rubicon? Like just rough number.
7.
Okay. So what if you're in a stock 3rd gen Tacoma pickup? What would the Rubicon be rated?
Probably 9.
9. So a stock vehicle, I would assume, is or more or less a level 1 vehicle. So if you're in a stock, or actually, let me back up. Just a hair. Let's just say we're in a stock 2nd gen 4Runner.
Okay.
On the Rubicon.
Okay.
More or less the same. You're not going to build a 3rd gen Tacoma up as much. So if you're in a stock 2nd gen 4Runner, Kermit stock, that's a level 1. The trail's a 9.
Okay.
It's going to be very hard for a stock Kermit to go across the Rubicon.
Okay.
What if Kermit is from stock to buggy, what would you rate Bobcat? Level
like stock being 1, buggy being 10?
Yeah.
I'd put Bobcat about 7 or 8.
7?
Yeah.
So if Kermit was in at level, more or less when you originally got it, at level 7.
Okay.
What would you rate? How hard, difficult is the Rubicon?
I see okay. So
yeah, this is clever.
Yeah. So let's just say difficulty of the Rubicon for Bobcat. And I'm going to say the easiest routes through the Rubicon.
Sure.
For Bobcat, I'd probably put about a 4.
4. Yeah. And if you had like Jason Green's buggy,
probably a 2.
Yeah.
Or a 1.
So stock 2nd gen 4Runner.
Yeah.
At level 1, it's near impossible to get through the Rubicon.
Gotcha.
It would be a level 9.
Yeah.
For like a Bobcat / original OG Kermit build, we think it's somewhere. I would probably say nowadays it's like 7. Yeah, 7's probably a decent number. The Rubicon's a level 4.
Okay.
If you have Jason Green buggy, that's a level 9 build.
Yeah.
The Rubicon's going to be like a 2.
I like that system.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. Yeah.
I do too. That's really clever. Like, I mean, you're incorporating both.
Yeah.
And it's not like, okay, like tell me about your vehicle. It's that we're pre-rating what the vehicles are in an essence. And so it'd be your vehicle's a 9 level, then the Rubicon's a level 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I like that system a lot.
Yeah, I do too.
So we need to go to the county with a proposition now.
Yeah. The problem is the semi problem to this is rating your vehicle is
subjective.
Subjective.
Yeah.
And so is every other trail rating out there. So,
Yeah.
but it would be interesting to see, like, if I say my Bobcat's a level 7 and the Rubicon's going to be a 4, I think that's an easy way to explain things to people.
Yeah. So I wonder how, because if you put on say the Rubicon Trail sign, that if you have a level 1 vehicle, this is a level 9 trail.
Yes.
Would you also then have the next number down be like
if
7 and 4 and then 9 and 1?
I think it would be if you have a level 1 vehicle, this is a level 9 trail. If you have a level 2 vehicle,
it's a level 8 trail.
This is a level 8 trail.
So it'd go up from there. So if let's take, I don't want to say Slick Rock. Let's take Deer Valley. That's a good option. So Deer Valley.
Okay.
If you have a level 1 vehicle, how hard would be that trail? Would that trail be?
I mean, I think so. I think it's good to play this game,
right?
I think if you have a level 1 vehicle, Deer Valley is going to be like an 8.
You think an 8?
I don't think it's. I mean, I don't want to rate
which way you run it too.
Sure.
So.
Okay, which way are we running it?
Let's run north to south.
North to south.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Blue Lakes down to Alpine.
I would say I don't know. See, I still think it would be. It's still difficult because you're like a bone stock, and it's not. I mean, it's not a difficult trail, but I think that it's your bone stock. You don't have anything, so I still want to put it up higher.
So 1. So what if you're let's just say a level 3 vehicle?
Yeah. See, then I think it quickly comes down.
Yeah.
Because I think if you had a level 3, which I'm sort of picturing is like Jake's.
Yeah.
3rd gen 4Runner, lifted slightly, has protection, it has an e-locker.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And maybe one locker, 30, 32s.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Somewhere that would be a 3. I would say that becomes like
a 4 or 5.
I was going to say 5.
Yeah.
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 And then when you get up to a level 5 vehicle,
it's easy now.
We're like at 3.
Yeah. So I wonder
if
the
anything up there is like,
anything
then
above
maybe
a level
7
5
is
vehicle.
2 and 9 is 1 or whatever.
But like, I don't even know if because the question is, how do you let people know that in with a quick one number, as little information as possible, let people know how difficult a trail can be. And if we're just putting a level 1 is vehicle is an 8 difficulty on that trail. I mean, a level 1 is a 9 or 10 difficulty on the Rubicon. That's not that big of a difference.
Right.
But
it's so where
Deer Valley is a much easier trail than the Rubicon. So how do we can't just put a level 1 vehicle as a level 10 difficulty on the trail. How would we'd have to put a scale then, right? So it'd be like a level 1 vehicle would be very difficult. When does the trail become easy? I guess. So it'd be like a level 6 vehicle.
Yeah.
7, maybe a level 7 vehicle. Like,
so
would become a 1 difficulty.
Let's just break it. Let's not say the difficulty as 1 through 9. Let's just say the difficulty as easy, medium, and hard.
Okay.
So when is the trail is difficult, let's say up to a level 3.
Okay.
For Deer Valley.
Yep.
So if your vehicle is a level 3, the trail is difficult. After 3, once it gets into 4, it becomes medium. It's not very difficult.
So 4
but
to
it stays
6, 4 to
4
7.
to 6 is 4. Let's just say 4 to 6.
Yeah.
It's medium difficulty, and then 7 and up, it's easy.
Yeah. I like that. So for difficulty, we have easy, medium, hard, and then you have a 1 through 10 scale for the vehicle
capabilities.
ability. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. We have a proposition.
All right. Now we need to go to Onyx Off-Road and tell them to change their trail ratings.
Yeah. Onyx, we know some of you guys are listening. We have a proposition for you. We may have solved all of the world's problems just now.
No, Brad pretty much did.
Yeah, Brad solved all the world's problems just now.
I like that. I like that idea.
I do too. I like it a lot.
All right. Well, we're right about a half an hour. Let's do one more since we've got a lot in the list there.
Cool.
And let's continue on.
All right, here we go with
one more.
Kevin Garrett.
Kevin Garrett. That's a new name.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, SnailTrail. First time caller, Kevin Garrett. Listened to episode 582 about air pressure and just putting it out there that I have Nitto Ridge Grapplers 35 1350s on some 20 by 10 race lines on my Ford Super Duty. And while I was doing some trail riding up in Gordon's Gulch in Colorado, I'm from Fort Worth, Texas, by the way. Anyway, we're in Colorado. It was snowy, partially frozen, partially muddy. I aired down to 25 PSI, and I did pinch a tire off the bead in an ice rut. So the 2016 Ford F-250 diesel. So probably a truck that heavy, maybe 30 PSI is probably a safe number to keep the bead on. Just throw that out there. See y'all.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for calling in, Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin, good advice. And there's a little bit to unpack there.
There's a lot there. There's definitely the heavier your vehicle is, the more air you want to keep in your tires.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you think an F-250 Super Duty, that's probably a 7,000 pound vehicle,
if not more.
7,500. Yeah. My F-350 dually, long bed dual cab is 8,500 pounds dry. Okay. So that's pretty much only a spare tire in the bed, and that's it. 8,500 pounds. So F-250, you're probably looking a pretty heavy truck. You'll want to keep more air pressure, especially on 20-inch rims.
That was the next topic I wanted to talk about.
With 35-inch tires.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a few different things here.
Mm-hmm. Different variables happening.
Weight of your vehicle changes how much you should air down for sure. How much sidewall you have available depends on determines how much you should air down to. Because when you have less sidewall, it's easier for you to pull the tire off the bead.
Yep.
I don't understand why that is. I would also assume that it would be tougher because it's closer to the bead.
Mm-hmm. You're getting less leverage.
Where if you have like a big old balloon tire, it would be easier to fold the tire out and around. But for whatever reason, I'm not sure the science behind it. Maybe I'll have to ask my wife, but less sidewall comes off the bead easier. So I think those are the big factors that, that anybody that's airing down needs to take into account is your weight of your vehicle, how much sidewall there is, or how big the rim is versus how big the tire is.
Yeah.
And then, that's really it. And I think we stated that you should probably start at 25 as one of the reasons he was calling in, and then work your way down until you
that makes sense.
Pull off a bead.
Okay.
Or bust a bead or whatever. And so thanks for calling in and bringing that to everybody's attention that the heavier your vehicle is, maybe start up at 30 or a little higher than 25. I think we always assume that you're in a tiny little Toyota that what we have and not wheeling a full size vehicle. But there's definitely people out there that are doing it. But on the flip side, I think if you're in your same exact rig with 17s and 37s, airing down to 27 or 25 to start probably isn't a bad thing.
Yeah. That's weight is a big factor. Like every year now, the past 2 years at KOH, we go Morphlate, we go and help air down the Rivian runs, the electric vehicle runs. So there's some Rivians, there's some Tesla Cybertrucks that show up, some other electrics, there was some of the new F-150 Lightnings there. And we only air them down to 30 to 35 PSI.
So those are so heavy.
They're 8,500, 9,000 pounds. Yeah. Something like that. So, the heavier the vehicle, the less air you want to go down to for sure. And then also the less sidewall you have, the less you want to go down as well. So,
and I think some of it also comes down to what you're doing, right?
For sure.
Because if you're going to what do the King of the Hammers racers run their tires at?
The Ultra 4 cars? 22 to 25 typically.
Almost street pressure.
Pretty much. For those, how light those vehicles are, that's street pressure.
Right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's because they're going fast and they're going to be slamming into rocks. And if you're down at a very low PSI and you're going fast and you slam into a rock, you're going to pinch your tire. You're going to blow the bead. You're going to have problems.
Crack a wheel.
So the faster you're driving, the higher PSI you want to be too.
Yep. Absolutely.
Whereas if you're going to be rock crawling, that's why I can go down to 3 to 5 PSI when I'm rock crawling. because I'm not concerned about getting a pinch flat because I'm not going fast enough to do that.
Yeah. Yep.
Unless I fall off something, then who knows? It might happen. Maybe my internal airlocks will prevent me or save me. But no, thanks Kevin for calling in.
Yep.
Good advice. Tyler and I sometimes need to open our minds up a little bit and think about who else is out there in the world besides, our mini trucks and
the mini truck rock crawler.
Mini truck rock crawling world.
That's what everybody has, right? Nobody has anything outside of that. Come on.
Yeah, there's some samurais.
A couple
Those
samurais.
guys can go down. They start at 12 to air down.
Yeah, that's street pressure for them.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right, that does it for today's snail mail. I got through a few voicemails there. We'll continue it on next Friday. Just so you guys are aware, if you guys have a voicemail you've sent in and we haven't got to it yet, we're only at March 4th callers.
Oh, geez.
So take today's date, and that's how many weeks we are behind on getting voicemails out. Just so you guys are aware, and you're like, did you skip my voicemail? No, we're probably just not to it yet. So call in. We'd love hearing from you guys. 916-345-4744. Love the fun topics. Love the feedback. Love the tidbits of things that Jimmy and I miss or forget while we're recording. So we always appreciate hearing from you guys.
Absolutely. If you guys want to call in, please do. Area code 916-345-4744. And we'd love to hear you on a future snail mail episode. And with that,
I
thought we were doing something else.
I remember now. What do we? Us gone? We're gone.
We gone.
The number you have called has been disconnected.